Yeah, this is happening.
And then the voice he has now.
So what, he's gonna burn me with flamethrowers or something?
It's really quite different. So I started looking into why that is. Why Sonic keeps cycling through multiple voice actors and huge changes in style. And the main culprit? It's Sega, the game's developer. So let's travel back to the 90s in order to answer the question, why doesn't Sonic's voice sound like it used to? Oh, but before we start, I'm going to be talking about the English language or the Japanese one, just to keep this video from getting too long. Okay. So, the story of Sonic's English voice begins in the year 1993, when two different Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons began airing on TV in the same month, September 1993. One of them was called Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and the other was just called Sonic the Hedgehog. And these series are where Sonic first got his voice. At the time, actor Jaleel White was at the height of his fame. He was a child actor who'd been working in TV since he was 4. But his big break came a few years later, when he played the character Steve Urkel on Family Matters. Now, you almost certainly recognise Steve Urkel, but in the 90s, he was everywhere. And TV network ABC was keen to keep this character at the front and centre of people's minds. So, back to Sonic. In mid-1993, animation studio DIC Entertainment decided to pitch ABC a cartoon series based on Sonic. And to make ABC more likely to approve this series, they picked Jaleel White to voice the main character. After all, White was ABC's golden boy at the time. And it worked. ABC picked up the series. Sort of. The original idea for the Sonic cartoon was something bright, light, and colourful. But when ABC was shown an early episode, they didn't like it at all, and asked DIC Entertainment to start again from scratch. The new cartoon was much darker in tone. So, how did we end up with two Sonic cartoons then? Well, DIC didn't want to waste all that work they put into the first series, so they decided to have it syndicated instead, which just means that rather than having it air on a big network like ABC, it aired on smaller regional networks. And that is how we ended up with two Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons airing at the same time, both featuring the voice of Jaleel White. Here's how his Sonic sounded.
About time, Sal. You ready? Okay, guys, let's do it. Cool. I'm out of here.
By the way, since Jaleel White was a child at the time, he usually recorded his voice separately from the rest of the cast, since these recording sessions were during school time and he was a student. But this also meant he could retry a line again and again until he was happy with how it sounded. And it turns out, a lot of how it sounded was left up to him.
I deliberately wanted to make him, because I'm black, if you haven't noticed. I really wanted to make him just like of no race. So when you listen to Sonic, I don't think you even get an impression that is he black, is he white, is he surfer, is he whatever. No, instead he's just hero, just fast.
Sorry, full brains, got a juice.
So, after those two cartoons began airing, we enter what I call the wishy-washy zone, where Sonic's English voice was just whoever was available at the time. Like in 1993, for the educational game Sonic's Schoolhouse, actress Meg Inglemer was cast as Sonic, the only woman who's ever played the character.
Hi there, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. You're going to play in my schoolhouse.
Then, in 1993, Jaleel White came back as Sonic in the cartoon Sonic Underground. Then, only 1 week after that, Sonic the Hedgehog the movie was released in America, again with a completely different voice for Sonic. This time he was voiced by Martin Burr.
I'm fine, just fine. So, who's that? Count me out.
Sonic, we've got to do something to help them.
You're the one who can fly, you do something.
So that's the wishy-washy zone. But then, 2 days after the Sonic movie, a new game came out which forever changed the sound of Sonic's voice. Its name, Sonic Adventure. So, in 1998, the Sonic series was becoming a little stale in the public consciousness, so Sega felt as though they had to shake things up and develop a next-generation Sonic game with 3D graphics, huge expansive levels, and full voice acting. For the Japanese version of the game, Sega hand-picked the voice actor for Sonic themselves. But for the English language version, they instead began holding auditions across America. And one actor who showed up to one of these auditions was Ryan Drummond. Now, Ryan Drummond originally came from a theatrical background, but in the 90s, he was just beginning to get into voice acting. And so, he showed up to Sega's audition without really knowing what the audition was for. As Drummond himself explained, when I got there, I was given pictures of all the characters, and I had a few moments to come up with what I thought would be the right voice for each one. I tried out for every voice I could, but the only one I felt I had really nailed was Sonic's voice. I guess I was right, because they offered me the job about 15 minutes later. That's really rare, by the way. Usually after auditions, actors have to wait days, weeks, sometimes months to hear anything back. But clearly, Sega really liked Ryan Drummond's audition, because he was given the part there and then. And so, in 1999, players in the US and Europe heard the following voice for Sonic.
Oh no! I've had enough! Alright, put him up! Oh no! Come on, Tails! Hey, hey, hey! Alright, Tails! Hey, Tails! You made it!
Now, Drummond continued providing Sonic's voice for all of the Sonic games that followed Adventure, like Sonic Shuffle, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, and Sonic Advance 3. By this point, Ryan Drummond's voice was cemented in players' minds as the voice of Sonic. Which brings us to something called Sonic X. Sonic X was a TV anime series produced by Japanese animation studio TMS Entertainment, who are best known for animating Lupin III and Detective Conan. Now, Sonic X was different from most of the previous animated Sonic adaptations in that it was created primarily for a Japanese audience, with the Japanese cast from the Sonic games all reprising their roles. However, it wasn't long before Sega began work on adapting the series for an English audience. And to do this, they enlisted the help of the infamous 4Kids Entertainment. When Ryan Drummond was asked about the series around this time, he said, "Sega America and I really get along, and I knew they'd like to keep using me. Also, there are a lot of fans out there who have approved of my voice for Sonic, and when the people that buy the game speak, the company listens. I'm hoping that 4Kids Entertainment will agree with that theory and use me for Sonic X." They did not do that. This is actually one of the most controversial chapters of Sonic's history, the Great Recast of 2004. 4Kids decided to recast just about every character, rather than hiring the voice cast from the games. Now, Ryan Drummond actually explained the story firsthand on his blog at the time, so I want to read out exactly what he wrote to keep things crystal clear.
Play this game now for free.
Story is this. I told my contacts at Sega that I wanted to at least have the opportunity to audition for what I believed to be my part. I was hoping that I would just be offered the part, but that didn't happen. Sega told me that the production company who owns the rights to the anime, 4Kids Productions, had all the power in the Sonic X series, and that Sega team had nothing to do with it. Sega was nice enough to recommend me to 4Kids, and told them I should at least be considered for the role that I've been portraying for 4 years now. At that point, I waited for 4Kids to call me. Never happened. After a while, and over 500 emails from fans asking whether or not I was going to voice Sonic for this cartoon, I decided to call 4Kids myself and find out what was going on. So I put in a few calls and emails, and after a week heard back from the assistant of someone I tried to contact. She told me that her boss was too swamped to talk to me, and suggested I call the production office. I did, and left a message for someone called Julie, who I was told was in charge of casting for Sonic X. I received an email back from Julie's colleague. Here's what it said. Dear Mr. Drummond, I understand that you left a voice message for my associate, Julie, today. Ryan, I can imagine how you must feel about having another actor voice Sonic. I can only assure you that it was never the aim of 4Kids to change the original voices or replace any of the game voice actors. The simple reality is that we need to hire actors who live in the New York area. I am truly sorry that circumstances prevent the original game voices from being in the series, and I sympathize with all the game actors. It's unfortunate that we weren't all based in the same place. In any case, I wish you continued success. Sincerely, Michael, producer of Sonic X. So, that's why Ryan Drummond wasn't hired as Sonic's voice. He did say that he would happily move to New York if 4Kids wanted, but it was too little, too late. 4Kids was already holding auditions to pick out a new cast for the Sonic crew. And one person who showed up for these auditions was Jason Griffith. Jason Griffith was an aspiring voice actor. He'd starred in one live-action film in the 90s, but in 2003, he was just starting to audition for some voice acting roles, which is how he got acquainted with 4Kids. He was actually turned down from a role in the anime Shaman King, but a couple of weeks later, he was called back in to audition for the Sonic anime instead. He first tried for the role of human being Chris Thorndike, but he was asked to try using that exact same voice for Sonic instead. According to Griffith himself,
I didn't really think it went that well, but I got a call back, which I thought went even worse. And then I think a week and a half later, they called to say I got the part.
So, before the recording of the first episode, 4Kids played Jason Griffith a clip of what the previous voice of Sonic sounded like.
Oh yeah, this is happening.
They played it for me and said, here's what he sounds like now. We don't want you to copy that, but just to know it can't go too far out of that ballpark, because it would be a different character then, you know.
And so, that brings us to episode 1 of the Sonic X anime. Here's how Jason Griffith sounds in the show.
Take a good look. I'm a hedgehog, not a cat. Good question. Unfortunately, I don't have a very good answer, because I don't remember. Oh, no wonder. It tastes like there's cat in it. Sorry, kid, but crickets don't do it for me. See ya.
So, at the time, this change of voice actors seemed like a temporary thing, just for the Sonic X anime. But then came a surprise announcement. Sega had entered a contract with 4Kids to use their Sonic X cast in the games as well. Reportedly, this was done to retain consistency between all types of Sonic media, but it came as a pretty sudden and unpleasant announcement for the current Sonic game voice actors, who had promptly learned that they were out of a job. The first games featuring Jason Griffith as the voice of Sonic were Sonic Rush for the DS and Shadow the Hedgehog. Both games came out on the same day.
Okay, guys, that's all I can do today. So, you guys, it's just sad that there's a zombie outbreak outside, and I'm just recording videos, and pretending to be in them. I'm gonna watch my shows now.
Here's a quick
Turn
clip of Sonic's voice from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, yeah.
Ah! Yahoo! Hey, he's on our side. Stop! Shadow, what are you doing? Nice job, Shadow. Hey, not bad.
Interestingly,
I should get out of my house.
Shadow the Hedgehog completely left up to his own devices.
Just get out.